Hi Tony, this is a video for you. This is a new demo account which I've installed the interface onto, and I've also installed the pivot systems as well. So I've got a new chart and I'm going to launch the GFX interface. If you get an error message saying it's already running, just go to your scripts folder and just click the launch GFX interface reset script. Click remember login details, enter your details, customer login, and there you get the product catalog coming up. And I'm just going to load up the pivot systems onto this particular chart here. So just load the daily, monthly and weekly. And I'm going to log out now and just show you that it remembers your login details. So if I go back to launch GFX interface, you see the remember login details is ticked, and obviously the unique reference number ID. Click customer login. And you had a question about profiles not being reflected, so let's just have a quick look at that. So let's launch the GFX pivot system, and this is the daily. So if I want to make a global change to the daily pivot system, let's just say, for example, we want to put an alert around the central pivot, and we'll do a 10-pip channel around that. So what will happen is when we get tick, you can see if you get rid of this grid, there's a green section around that central pivot which is 10 periods long. Let's make that a bit bigger so we can see it more easily. Let's make it 30 periods. We'll make it stand out a bit more as well, because at the moment it's in green. So I'm going to make it, let's say, teal. Make it a little bit more. Let's go for yellow, in fact. And we'll make the actual length of that, 30 periods. So I've got sorry, I was playing with the threshold there. I don't want a 30 pip threshold around it, so let's have 10 pip threshold like that. So if I'm happy with that change, all I do is copy the profile to all time frames for this asset. But you've got to make sure that you wait for tick data, because the market's really slow at the moment. So that tick, it's just ticked. So that change will now be reflected. So if we go to all the different time frames, you can see on M1, M5, M15, M30, H1, H4, D1, weeklies, just zoom in a bit. It's pretty narrow because it's only 10 pips or so, and the monthly again. So you can see that that change has been reflected across all those time frames. Remember that the pivot, the controls, your changes you make will be specific to the actual pivot time or the pivot system. So if we go into weeklies and then we do the same sort of thing, put a channel around the monthly pivot, 10 pips wide, and say, let's make it 50 periods. Same thing will happen. So wait for some tick data, and let's change this channel color to, say, let's have yellow as well. Just wait for a tick, and you see that yellow channel now on the monthly. Now if I go to copy profile to all time frame for this asset, and again once a tick comes in, that will be rippled across. So this is very slow today, but so go to weekly. You can see the two yellow channels. Let's make this a bit bigger. There you go. So daily, H4, H1, M30, M15, M5, M1. So I'll do the same thing for the monthly as well. So go to the interface, click monthly, loads the monthly interface, and I would say I want to have a channel around let's have a look. MR1. Let's do the same thing around there. Put a 10 pip channel in yellow. Make it 30 periods long too. So same sort of thing. Copy profile to all time frames for this asset. Wait for a tick to come in, and that will now be reflected. So you can see now we've got the 3 bands on all the charts. Getting alerts being triggered. So there you go. So hopefully that should answer your question. I think probably if you click around without waiting for the changes to be reflected, then it's possible that things may not get picked up. The system is driven by tick data, so it's important just to keep an eye on the price movement on the chart to make sure that the tick is actually being received, because otherwise those changes won't get reflected. So what could happen is if you're moving around very quickly between different charts, and you go to, I don't know, have a new chart of say oil, and you put one of the indicators on that, and it's picked up we're on oil automatically. So let's just see what's going on. And if you went to the monthly pivot, 10 pips, just pick that up, copy profile to all time frames. But then if you change your allocation, let's just see whether it has actually copied it to all time frames. Yeah, it has. So normally it will pick up most changes that you make, but if it doesn't, just make sure that you've actually given it a chance, given the actual price action a chance to tick through, and then that's that. So I download a new version of the system from the license management area, and the login issue was a bug. So I've resolved that, but in terms of the profiles rippling through, can't see a problem with that. So let me know how you get on. Thanks for watching. Cheers.